husband, Larry Hunter, was one of the Freedom Riders. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, put me back on off on the tangent. Put me back on the.
No, you've covered everything. That was I just wanted to throw those last topics out because you hadn't mentioned anything about them, but no, you've done exceptionally well. So you have a lot of information that we can definitely use.
Well, God is good. I'm glad I have lived to see the diversity come.
Right.
And my thing is, and even when I was teaching school, there were some people who swore that Egypt was in the Middle East. I said, well, let's pull out the map here. And I said, let's take a look at this African continent here. I said, last we looked, Egypt is right there. That's Africa. That's north. That's Africa. It's not in the Middle East. And see, when I was teaching, too, I was itinerant, and they used to throw us anywhere. My office one time was literally an old bathroom. The stalls were still there. But since I was itinerant, we had the program for exceptional children operated by Georgia. So you had the behavior children, disordered children, you had the gifted children, that was my group. You had the educationally mentally retarded. They didn't call it, they came up with another name, and they had the speech impaired. They had all of the people with their exceptionalities, program for exceptionalities. Well, within that group, we had a white teacher who was working with the children who were hearing impaired. Then we had a white teacher who was working with the speech impaired. Then we had, well, anyway, we were a diverse group of culture, and we had a discussion one day. And so when we got on race relations, we were talking about it. And I said, well, let's see if we can get to something that we really, really agree on. And that's when we got into this discussion. Well, they wanted to say that Egypt was in the Middle East. It's like, no, it's in Africa. So we all agree. Here's what we agreed on. Civilization started around the Mediterranean Sea. The first man was found in Africa. Does that not make us all Africans? And we jumped off from that premise. And I do have to say this, and I'm glad we do live in a world where there can be a tolerance, and I do think that education provides that tolerance. I just happen to be Christian, but the whole idea is, am I Christian just because I was born in a country and born in a family of Christians? Suppose I had been born in Morocco, I'd probably be Islamic. So that means we're going to have to really respect all of the religions. But I had an opportunity to travel to Israel. Bunny Jackson, Maynard Jackson's first wife, is a member of Cascade United Methodist Church, and she provided a trip with Rhodes Scholar, and it was a trip called In the Footsteps of Christ. So we left Atlanta, flew to New York, from New York into Tel Aviv, and I got a chance to see Old Jerusalem, New Jerusalem. I got a chance to put my hand right where Jesus put his hands on Via Dolorosa on the way to the cross. Doesn't get any better than that. I got a chance, since I'm a dancer, got a chance to dance on the Sea of Galilee. It was not a sea, it was just a lake. And our tour guide had a great sense of humor because he threw out the net and then he said, anybody who wants to walk on the water, feel free to do so. But then he drove the little boat around to the other side, and then I got a chance to go to the Jordan River, where your namesake, John the Baptist, baptized even Jesus himself in that Jordan River. Now, I didn't pay the $50 for the white robe and all that they charge, but I put my feet in there because I had already been baptized. It didn't take one time. But everybody on the bus practically, except a few of us, got baptized in the Jordan River. Then after that, we went to Bethlehem, where Jesus was born. And the little opening is about maybe 3 feet tall. Well, since, I'm only 4'11" and a half, I used to be 5 feet all my life, but that's what happens when you get to be 70. But I guess they wanted to make sure every knee was going to bow. But when we went in there, I said, well, where's the manger? Where's this Sharon? 2,000 years ago, we're not going to see no manger. No, there's no manger. I said, well, but they had a bronze star right where Jesus was born. Got a chance to see that. Then we got a chance to see the temple where the 4 friends were coming in there, and they couldn't get to Jesus for the healing, and they lowered him down through the roof. We got a chance. We got a chance to see Peter's house. We got a chance to see the press that they used to make the wine, and also to get the oil out of the olives, and it was just an experience. After that, we went to the Wailing Wall, and we put our prayers in the Wailing Wall. We left there, and we went into Mount Sinai, and I got a chance to see where Moses brought down the tablet, and there was 750 steps, from there all the way up to the summit, and you had to be up at 2 a.m. in order to go up. But I didn't go up. I stayed behind with Mary Neal. But the ones who did go up that mountain, when they came back, they said it was a spiritual experience they'll never forget, with the sun coming up over that mountain in Mount Sinai. And we lived in the resort that used to be a personal resort of Anwar Sadat, which was pretty remote. And we didn't have radio or TV or any in those rooms. But we left there, and we did go into Egypt, and I got a chance to ride the camel. But you talking about praying, they made the camel get down on his knees and let me climb up there. I said, now, Lord, this is kind of high up for me. I don't want to fall off here. But they guided the little camels, and I was able to take that. But it's an experience you won't ever forget, because at least historically you can just see the whole Bible come alive, So, and then it makes you a real educated person when you study that Bible, when you find out, as a Christian, we believe in God the Father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And we talk about Abraham's son, Isaac. But we all know that Abraham had Ishmael too. And all of the descendants of Ishmael are Islamic. Well, look at God. Even though Sarah, she laughed when she said that she was going to have Isaac in her old age. She thought that was really funny. But would history be different if Abraham had raised Ishmael and Isaac alongside each other? But no, sent her out in the desert with one day's rations. Had to be God. She was protected. And so Christians are involved with the Father of many nations, but the Islamic people are involved with the Father of many nations.